lot of average dudes out here expecting this king treatment from us queens. A lot of guys out here, they are a 6 or 7 at best. And they feel like we're supposed, first of all, you're approaching a 10. You're approaching a, and then you want them to treat you like you're a 10. So tell me, Melita, what do you think about that? Especially, and I would say this is probably more prominent over 45. When you're dating over 45, these men got gout. They got a bad knee.
She is going hard, y'all.
That gout.
They got a bad knee. Yes. They sleep with a CPAP machine.
They do.
I've been there, done that. I'm just saying, you are a 7 at best, boo. And then you want to tell me, oh, you need to do this. And you got me straight.
Yeah.
Tripping. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, think about it. When we're in our 40s, we can date the daddy or the son.
Yeah, but the question is, do you qualify for the dad or the son? Because it's funny how they are laughing. You see, men are average, they're 7s, I'm a 10. For some reason, every woman thinks she's a 10. Funny how that works, right? They all believe they're 10s. But the issue is, the men that they want, they don't qualify for. Because if she's really a 10, she would have men, the type of men she wants. Now, she may have, I'm not saying she's a bad looking lady, but she's not a 10. If I do say so myself, right? She's in good shape. I like her dress, but she's not a 10. But what is funny is she thinks she's a 10, but I can bet you she's single because I don't see a ring on any of her fingers. So the question is, if you're such a 10, right? Perfect, because 10 is perfect. How come you don't have a ring on your finger? And let's say you don't want marriage. You are talking about it, which means clearly the men that you want don't want you. The men who are not 7s or 6s don't want you either.
They honest. So why pick the dad when we can date the son?
Yes, yes. I agree. I agree. She is funny. I agree. I feel like dating over 45, 40, 50, whatever the case may be, is like shopping on a clearance rack. Like,
not clearance.
Yeah.
Not a clearance rack.
Like a rack.
Well, they dragging us through the mud up in here.
The diamond in the rough, you got to find that one piece that it's hard to find. I really honestly feel like dating over 45 and to what you said, you're a 10 and you have these men that are 7s, 5s, 4s. It's a lot.
Maybe it speaks to the ratios that's going on out there. Feel empowered by that.
No, none of that.
No, the issue is these women are 40, 45, or 50, whatever the age, but that's their age range as they're speaking, right? So I'm guessing some of them have kids who are probably 20, 25 or something like that, right? So if they have daughters who are 25, 22, 23, they are competing with their own daughters for the same kind of men. Because women who are 21, 22, all the way to 45, all want, there's one thing they want common in a man who can provide. So that means a man who's rich. Now, only a small percentage of men have the means to really just spend and spoil these kind of women. Because I can guarantee you, these women want to go traveling, shopping sprees, gifts and things like that. And if only a small percentage of men are going to be willing to do that. They're complaining about dating men in their age bracket. But the issue is the men who have the money in their age bracket, 45 and on and higher, are not dating them. Because they're also competing with, those men are dating their daughters. And that's the issue. That's what they don't want to talk about. This woman and her daughter want the same kind of man. A 45-year-old man who has a couple $1 million and couple houses. They want the same kind of man. So guess what? The man has all the cards. He's going to choose the younger woman who's her daughter. So she's here complaining about the man she doesn't want. Rather than saying there's not enough rich men that I want and my daughter wants them as well.
No,
I'm just saying.
I think it's a balance. I feel like when you're at a certain space in your life, You know what I mean? Like I've been divorced. I've been married most of my life, and you're in a certain space you don't expect or want less than, or your standards and your boundaries are different. So I personally feel like it's it's a lot. It's been a lot. It's been challenging, trying. It's been a lot.
Well,
But
I mean,
but
I'll help you out there, Melinda. I
yes.
think a lot of times they expect once you reach a certain age that you're supposed to compromise and settle.
That's
And you
good.
hear that word a lot. They say, oh, you're 45, you're 48. Just take what you can get. As if you have not, you don't bring a lot to the table. Think about it for a second. As
Yeah, but what do you bring to the table? Because I can guarantee you can name everything a man should bring to the table. Take me to trips, provide for me, pay my bills, be nice to me, flowers, dinner dates, all these things. Call me, text me. You can list everything you bring to the table. You are 48 years old. You probably have kids. So apart from your kids, what else do you bring to the table for a man of that caliber? Because the man can choose a younger woman. So that's why they're telling you you should settle. And settling is not a negative connotation. You ladies made settling and submission a negative connotation. It's not. It just means you find someone who's compatible with you. They're not perfect in every way, but you're going to choose to settle down with them. So tell us exactly what you bring to the table. Let's go.
women, there's so much we have to do. You know, men, they put on a black tee, some jeans or sweatpants and sneakers, and they out the door. You know, they take their little bald head. We getting hair,
Not the ball.
makeup, eyelashes, nails, waxing. We got the whole situation that we have to do only to present ourselves to someone who's subpar. That's crazy. And then to say that we should reduce ourselves down because of the ratios, as they say. But when you talk about the ratios, we should really talk about quality women
The quality,
versus
that's good.
quality men. Because there's a lot of women out here, but you, Marcel, you know they ain't shit.
So, did you guys catch that? She mentioned what she brings on the table as wigs, lashes, makeup, and dressing nice for a man. That's what she claims she brings to the table. Like, I've never heard of a man asking a woman to put lashes on. I've never heard of a man asking a woman to put on a wig. In fact, most guys are asking women to be natural. They prefer natural women, not too much makeup, if any. Maybe be in shape, look good, but those are things you do for yourself as a human being to present yourself well. But she mentioned makeup and wigs and lashes as what she brings to the table. So that is supposed to make you qualify for a high value man, a man of high quality, high caliber man, because you have lashes and makeup on. Damn, we are cooked.
I'm really
Quality.
just taking this all in. I mean, I'm not going to really. I can't really elaborate on, because I think, I mean, from Dawn's perspective, though, the question is, what is she saying? Like, what's that standard there, right? I don't, what she considers to be a 7 to whoever could be a 10 to someone else.
That's true.
So it's I
That is
think
true.
that right there kind of mixes the bowl. That's the first thing, right?
Yes.
Because where you are in your life, that's going to create your standard. That's one. I mean, again, born here in the DMV, District, Maryland, Virginia, for you guys that are national. It's just what it is. It's just kind of like in Atlanta. It's going to be the ratio issue. It's going to be way more women than guys. I wouldn't want to be a female in that situation, because it does lend to some of the things that you hear Dawn speaking to. Like, you're just going to have guys that are willing to take a shot because they already know that, listen, like, if I see it, let's whatever, we can say a 10 is whatever somebody's perspective is, but that guy sees a 10, he feels emboldened to take the shot because he has nothing to lose. First of all, like, that's just what it is. Now, what you do with that shot, that's that person, that female's perspective. But I just think that when it comes to that issue in general, it's more really about just, again, where those two people are in life. And if your standard is whatever that standard is, and you can't find a guy that's going to meet that standard, and you feel like Anything under that standard is basically you compromising or settling. Then you have to be equipped mentally to be rolling solo.
Facts. Because these older women, they're not complaining because there's so many average men who approach them. They're only complaining because the kind of men they want, the older rich men don't want them. They are choosing their daughters. That's the only reason. You know, I've never seen it someone complaining because most people, if you're applying to a job, right? Let's say you're not even applying to jobs. If I'm trying to work for Amazon as a software engineer and I need them to pay me a certain amount of money, I'll be a fool to complain if smaller companies are coming towards me with a lower salary. They're coming to me. I shouldn't complain why they're coming to me. I should figure out how to qualify for the Amazon position that I want, not from the smaller companies. So these ladies are complaining that average men want them and they're tens and they're queens. But it's like the kings that you want don't want you for a reason. So maybe look in the mirror, put down the ego. Maybe you gotta lower your crazy delusional standards, because what you qualify for at 45 years old is not what you qualified for when you were 25. So maybe some of these ladies dated rich guys when they were younger, but they get stuck in that mindset thinking that the millionaire who wanted them when they're 25 with no kids should want them when they're 45 with 4 kids. And that's never going to happen.
That's just the way this works. You know, because you already said it. You're like, I'm not going to go down. It's only up. And if up is the only option, then you have to, you have to deal with what you're saying, that you're diminishing that pool, right? And when you diminish that pool, you can't complain about what's left. And then to wrap this up, what's left, everybody's going after that, right? The visual basic stuff that we're talking about, keep it simple. We go, he has to have a great job, height, nice car, all that bullshit fluff. At the end of the day, every woman sees that. So now you got that guy that you got to deal with that has his pick of the litter. So what you gonna do with that guy? Is that the guy you want that can have 5 women? So I mean, it's a mixed bag there. It's not as simple as the way that's kind of outlined to be. But again, to me, on the dating issue, on that issue particularly, it's to each his own. But I mean, the opening up, you're absolutely right there. Many guys are taking a shot at the 10. What they have to lose? They have nothing to lose.
Which is why women.
So that's the thing. Like, men will date anybody, or at least they will shoot their shot at any type of woman. Because at the end of the day, men are not just looking out for specific women. Now, unless even rich men will go, they don't say, I'm a 10, I got all this money, I look good, I'm Chris Brown, so I will not date a woman who's a 3. That's why we hear all these weird statements from women who are 350 pounds talking about, I was dating Asha. Because men don't care. Men will date any type of woman if they want to. But women are like, oh, I only want this kind of guy. If he doesn't make this certain amount of money, he's not my kind of guy.
And have chosen, and I find that a lot of women are choosing to stay single.
I agree.
It's like it's peaceful.
It's peaceful.
Yeah. I mean, nobody ain't got time, and you just have 5 boyfriends.
A whole roster.
It's
the starting lineup.
As soon as one say no, you call the next one.
That's what's changed, though.
It's all
you feel like that's pain.
Because
seen that?
For me, I'm just entering the date scene, and I can really only date one person at a time. I can.
Really?
I mean, I know that a lot of people saying date them all, but I have to focus, and I need to know. I do have to focus. You know what I mean? And I do not feel like I am giving you a fair shot if I'm checking for Joe and checking for
That's great.
John.
I mean, at least we have one sensible woman on the panel, because this one is talking about she wants to date 5 boyfriends at the same time. No, this woman is 45 or 48, whatever the age. If she's preaching to date 5 guys at the same time, I wonder what message that sends to her daughter. And I wonder what message that sends to her son. Because she's old enough to have adult kids, sons and daughters. So if the older women are dating 5, 4, 6, 7, 8 guys because they can't find one rich guy to have by themselves, what are the younger generation of people going to do? It's crazy. I mean, dating is cool. It's getting worse by the day. I mean, if a 45-year-old woman's talking about, I'm a 10, I don't want average men. It's like there's so many good average guys, but because they don't make the kind of money to spoil these women, took them on trips to Dubai and London, they don't consider them good men. They consider them average men. And then they consider themselves tens and queens who deserve the whole world. It's crazy. It's tough out here. What do you guys think about that? I'll put down the link below.